questions? Okay, beautiful. If you do have any, let me know. So now to create a plan. Before, let me just start from start from fresh. So essentially, when you're in your Jira, if you're already set up, basically, if you're not set up, this will be the first page that it takes you. If you already have boards, as you can see here, we've got loads of boards already from previous stuff that we've been doing. Basically, go under spaces, you basically click create, and you basically just end up using this template. I end up actually preferring the Scrum template because I can work in sprints. And then the name, so we'll put Pwto website plan. Then next, it'll basically ask if you want to add anyone in. You can add your team members in there if you are not, why is it taking a while? Then you can basically add your team members, or you can basically just click skip and add them individually. So essentially, what I want to start doing is, I like to work in a list view. It depends. I know people prefer to work in Kanban view. I know people prefer to work, let's say, in a calendar view as well, where you could basically click and create what tasks are needed. I prefer the list view. So one, it's important for you to see what is your preference. And I'm not sure. I'm going to have a think how we're going to do this. Essentially, with free Jira version, you can get up to 10 people in there to participate. So I'm not sure if I should make you guys do the plans, let's say individually, and then we bring them into the main Jira, or how, because there's so many people, but I just doubt everyone's going to be completing the plan, because essentially a lot of the people haven't even done their requirements. So I'm not sure how we should do it, but let's say this, the first 10, because it allows me 10 people in here, the first 10 people to basically say they want to just work on the plan, on the main plan, I'll basically put you in there. I think that's fair, isn't it? You snooze, you lose. So if you guys do prefer to just work straight into the main plan, let me know. And then again, when it comes to this list, essentially, this is just only a list that has everything. And when you're creating stuff, in Agile, the way it basically works is, and I know we have covered this a few times now, so hopefully by now it's like, all stuck in your guys' heads like it's gospel, that, in Jira, what you really want to do in Agile is, we create the plans by having epics. Epics are basically the big milestones. You can actually also go and personalize all of these. So if you don't like the names, and let's say you want to call it a milestone, you basically just do it here in the settings, in the space settings as well. So what you really want to do is, in project plans, is we usually have a goal. So we are very aware of our goal right now, right? We are aware that our goal is to create a interim solution for project takeover on the Wix platform, which I purchased the other day. From there, we're going to go into creating our own platform, which actually I've been talking to Antonella, because she works in an amazing company that helps people do softwares and stuff. So that is also one of the options. So once we're in, let's say, the next phase, what we can do is have a look what developers we prefer to work with. But I do really, she gave me some good pointers and some good research as well. So we'll do all of that in phase 2. So thank you so much, Antonella, for your time and all of your inputs as well. So
No worries.
thank you. So beautiful. So like I said, when you have a project, you want to have a goal. Our goal is to create a platform. This is our main goal. However, in project management, how do we achieve that goal? We have to create a plan. One, we had to look at the requirements gathering. So everything that we want to achieve in this project, and everything that we want to for the project to have. And then part of me is like, should I quickly share the requirements I came up with? But then I'm not going to share the full requirements I came up with, because I kind of don't want you guys to see them, and then it's easier for you to really go and complete it. So we'll start this plan without seeing the final version of the requirements, which we shouldn't be doing anyways, but we kind of know the requirements anyways, isn't it? But then next week I'll basically share I'll share the requirements gathering that I came up with from everyone's requirements gathering. And essentially why? Well, I want us to sort of have one final version. So it was the same with business cases. I got everyone's business cases, then I created a final business case version and shared it with people and asked for people's feedback, and it will be the same for the requirements gathering. But I want to share it today, just in case people haven't done it yet. So it allows you to cheat, basically. But next week, I'm just going to share it. So, right, from one of the epics, right? One of the epics should definitely, I guess, from your guys' perspective, what do you believe should be the main milestones for this platform going live? And it's the big things that we need to achieve to make sure we achieve the goal. And then from those big things, we start breaking it down into smaller tasks, right? Hello, Antonella.
Are we supposed to answer like while on the call, or are you just telling us what to do and then we do it on our own?
So I was basically, I was thinking this way to start doing it on the call a little bit to break it down into the big milestones, and then people can basically go and work on basically elaborating on it. Because I think what I found is I've been sort of going through the theory on here, and then people have supposed to go offline and do it. So I was like, maybe this way, if we do a little bit together, it makes it easier for people to start thinking about it so they can go off and do it as a group or individually easier. So
Sure.
so long story short, yes, I would love to get your guys' input in this session.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start it off then. Just so no under pressure, we'll put one of the first milestones will be foundations, isn't it? Foundations and setup. So this was one of the bigger milestones, right? So let's say what would go into this foundations and setup. So if you want to create it, and again, it depends what type of person you are. I prefer to work through this way, through the list. I think Rachel is on here on the phone on the call. She prefers to actually go into the individuals and basically add the child items through here. So then this way she knows exactly what she's working on in what way. There's not a wrong or right way. She prefers it this way. I prefer it the other way. I don't know why. I just do. And I feel like, is it just because that's how I started using it? Maybe that's what it is. So then, for example, then what we would do is break the epic into into stories. Essentially, our story should say, as this, I want to do this in Agile. That's like the most appropriate way for you to have a story. And I do believe it elaborates it really easy, like what you need to achieve. However, what's the face? However, I've touched, no one really does it in that way, but that's I guess another thing. Theory and reality is so much different, but the correct way should basically say, as a owner, I want to choose a domain. Pow. That's like what a story is. A story is supposed to paint a story of what you need to do. So they use that in Agile a lot. Hey, Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi,
Oh, hi.
and morning everyone. Um, so I was literally about to just say, when you explained the story, something just came up to mind. I realized like when you're saying it in like full sentences, like as a user, and obviously since like you obviously it might be quite long, you can kind of like reword it onto like 2 words. So when you said, oh, as a user, I would like to be a domain, you'd be like, oh, in 2 to 3 words, what would that look like? That would be just user domain selection.
Yeah, exactly right. So just because thank you, that was actually a good tip. And I think because it's so long, it's also very long to even have it in there. But I guess even as you're thinking about plans and requirements, if you automatically just write in your head a story, maybe if you think of it as a story, then it's easier for you to elaborate into a few points, isn't it? Because I do like stories. It's just a very hefty thing. But I think with a story, it's then so easy to be like, oh, tick it off, isn't it? Right? So I actually like that. So maybe I would start saying, I encourage people to start thinking of it as a story because it's a good thinking point. But then shorten it up and summarizing it, isn't it? So we'll say basically purchase the domain, which actually at the end, we're going to have a discussion about this domain, guys. I got 2 domains, but let's do this. We'll have purchase the domain. Then the next one would basically be, what do I want the homepage to look like? I don't know. I guess what would she say? What should we say? Like website structure, and that goes into structure, and that could go into different into let's say different areas. What is it part of the structure? And that's another one. Can you see now it goes from epic to story to a subtask? So now basically whatever I want to achieve for website structure, I could basically put this as a thing. And then for website structure, one of the things I would want to see, how many pages do we need? And I know I elaborate a little bit beyond, but yeah, how many pages do we need? I don't know, guys. You get what I mean?
One of the things, hi, could be the user workflow.
Ooh, user workflow. I like that. I like that.
So basically what the user needs to go through when, when they access the app, and how many sections you want them to access.
What the user needs to go through. Thank you. And that's another thing, because it was such a like good point that let's say I might have not known what the user needs to go through, or let's say if anyone else is in the plan, you can add it in the description. And I think that's another good thing in project management. You can always elaborate what you want for it, the task, whatever you're using for, especially like even columns. You can basically provide a description for the columns. I think that's always useful because you think it makes sense. However, people will shock you. So is this what the user wants to go through, what areas they can access? What areas they can access, beautiful. Now I'm going back because I just prefer this way. So, and I guess even part of the foundation and setup is signups. Like, we have to decide what type of signups do we want. Do we just want people to sign up for free content, workshops, coaching, like interest in future events? I don't know. In future events. So hopefully, because we did, let's say, one like this, it's helping you guys see how plans work and how it's easier to slowly take the big goal, chuck it into milestones, which is epics, break that milestone into stories that you are required to achieve it. And then for any of those stories, if you believe you want to break those down, you can basically do that as well. So this is what I kind of would want to see in your guys' plan as we are working on it as well. And then I guess another thing as well, so we could also have content and learning, I guess that's another milestone, isn't it? What content for the platform? Is it just one course? Is it bundles? Is it specific areas we want to work on? This is like what we would put into all of this as well. I guess another thing would actually be building the website. And from there, we could essentially separate it into the different areas. Where are we? So building the website, probably homepage, about us. What else? Contact us. And then that's another thing, is contact us and about us on the same page, stuff like that. Contact us for, I don't know, what other pages you guys feel like we need in the website? Homepage, courses, I guess, yeah, that's another one. Courses, I'm just looking at
the community.
Community, perfect. Community. Oh,
terms and conditions.
careers, teas. Oh my God. Guys, don't scare me. This is a lot. This is a lot. It's like, do we
Could
also, yeah, sorry,
could we
Mark.
also, sorry, just want to say that I'm completely new to this, and everything that um this is my first time being here, so like I don't really know what's going on too
Going
tough, but
on.
I'm slowly picking it up, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But
Sorry. I guess that should have been my first question. Well, welcome to the crazy house. We're here
thank
to
you.
fry your brain, but make you grow as a project management professional, really. So what I'll do is basically I have this Excel that basically has all the sessions that we've done and all the required tasks that you need us to complete after. So if you catch up on those sessions, it'll make it easier for you to understand what we're doing. So essentially what we really wanted to do, which actually started as a partnership with another community, but long story short, now it's just us. We want to build a platform where people can come and access project management courses, get work experience, and have the whole community in there as well. I did realize that that is a chunky big project that will take a lot of time to do it. So we started breaking it up into phases. So the first phase is basically an interim solution. What is the easiest way for us to basically start selling courses and inviting people to project takeover events? So from there, we've done the business case. Which basically shows the justification for why we want to do the project and all the overview of it. Then we've done requirements gathering, which essentially shows us what we want to know in what we want the project to have. And now we're sort of moving into the planning stage, where we're basically taking what we want the platform to do and creating like a little plan, and then people gonna basically go and work on the different parts of it. So that's the longest story short.
Thank you. Was insightful. It kind of helps me understand what's going on a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
yeah. Sorry, probably a little half an hour too late, isn't it? So actually, you know what? That reminds me. I know me and Rachel was working on like a welcome pack that gives people all the information. So maybe yeah, we'll pick it up. And I guess I would love from your perspective as well to see. I think Antonella, you're joining us today now as well. Mark, you as well. Is it too late? Like, is it too late for people to join? Is it because we've done a few sessions? Is it too late to basically allow people to join? So let's see how you do with the whole catch up. But we will be doing phase 2 in January. So then part of me is like, you know what? If you join these sessions, then and you feel like it's too late, you can basically get understanding. And then for phase 2, you're like all ready to jump in, you know? So yeah, bearing that in mind, do let me know if you guys are joining late. Is it too late? And if you feel like it's too much activity to do, so basically we can learn for future. Because what I also want to do with this work experience thing is turn it into like a big thing. So this is like a pilot to see what works, what doesn't work. I have definitely have so much learnings from everything that we have done. So yeah, learning as we go. So this is like our baby. So this is our first time being parents, you know, we have to be nice to each other. Perfect. Let's go. And then I guess as well, building the website, do we want a templates area in it? Because I mean, now the fact that it's on Wix, it's like, do we just go crazy and do everything that we want to do? And I think what we can actually do is after we'll go through this and maybe prioritize it, what we think is like a must have and what is not a must have. Oh, events page, just to see all the upcoming events. I guess from your guys' perspective, if you was learning, oh yes, Rachel.
I was just thinking in terms of like when you were talking about must-haves and not must-haves, like it depends on are we like fully doing it, like in terms of like how will I put this? So in terms of like like if we're doing like the waterfall thing whereby we're designing it and then launching it and all of that, instead of just like focusing on one or two, three main stuff and then obviously launch it and see what happens and then do another one whereby we're now obviously focusing on a different aspect.
Yeah. I think.
Well, what's your like, exactly what's your opinion on that? Not anything like, yeah.
Yeah, so I think what we should be basically doing is having some high-level waterfall milestones that we want to hit, but I think we should work in sprints. So that's why I even chose the sprint board for this. So then it's like we take a boop and we'll say, yeah, actually for this week, let's focus on this area and let's focus on this story, you know, to achieve. I mean, fingers crossed, my hope is that people are so excited that we're finally like, you know, because I feel like all the parts before was like all the planning and all the business case. Like this is the fun part, isn't it? Like this is where we get to get involved and build stuff and do stuff and see how it looks like. So I'm hoping that people are so excited that, let's say, a team picks events page, a team picks, let's say, terms and conditions page, a team picks careers. So it's not just like one group working on website. So I'm basically hoping that like in 2 weeks we can basically work in an agile way where we all pick what we want to focus on and it all comes together, if that makes sense. And then as well, I think one of the things that I will say, let me quickly finish this priority, must have, and I'm going to put nice to have because I feel like that's the main ones we actually come down to in project management. And that's another thing, guys. If you feel like you don't have a field that tells what you want, you can actually create a field as well. You do this by going under configure fields and then creating another field there, and you can choose which type. Where did it go? Where did it disappear to? Did I not create it? Did I not create it? Did I not do it? I didn't do it. I will just put again priority. And yes, sorry, Antonella, if you, I know you got your hand up as well.
Yeah, actually, I was because yesterday I was researching, you know, differences between actually having your own app or doing it from Wix.
Yeah.
And one of the things was that one of the problems that Wix was that it may not be easy to transition to other apps later on. So I think what we need to think about is to think about the features that are not easily
Transferred.
yeah. So I might need to have a look into this because
Yeah.
I do understand of apps, but as I told you before, like I'm non-technical. So
Yeah.
I'm not a developer. So I will have to look into this, but I think that's one of the things that we need to research as well. Whether you want to have, let's say, for example, a community that can easily like go from Wix to possibly a new app.
Yeah.
If that's something that you want to keep afterwards, that's one of the things that we need to also think
Consider.
about. Yeah.
Oh, so you know what? I'm gonna create this as actually one of the epics, and it looks like we got our first owner of our epic. Because yeah, that's a big thing, and I think that's a big thing a lot of people actually do. They set themselves up in a way where they can't easily scale up. So we'll call this scaling up post phase 1. And then we can sort of, I guess if you do your research and you find out sort of what are the things that we need to consider, then it's like we can start considering these as we go, right? Hey, Rachel. Thank you.
Just a few questions. How do you like navigate with like the priority column? Because like I know this is more Jira based, but like
Yeah.
you know in terms of like the priorities and stuff, because it's a little bit hard to navigate, especially when you're like you want to click something. Oh, this is low, but then that's high, and then all of that. And then the second one is what is the resolution column for, if you do know or you do use it, I guess.
Yeah. So the resolution column is basically to say, has this been completed or has it not been completed? And it should basically go, and let's say if you put into done, it should it's like an automation. Can you see? So basically, which in my head is, if I can use this, why would I need this column? So again, it's a preference, isn't it? I personally would probably get rid of it because, well, it's just we can change it on here. Or what I would actually do is, because you see, you can't even change it yourself. Like it's not manual at all. So what I would do is actually delete this column, create a new resolution column that is like a little tick box. Or what we do at work is actually we have a resolution column, and in that resolution column, you go in and you basically update what is needed. So for example, for this event page, the resolution column would be like a text that you can put in, and you'll basically say, have set up the events page. Here's the link to access and to review the events page. So, so this is what you could have. And then the next column, what I could have is reviewed by me, so that actually once you sign something that is resolved, I can then basically go and have another column as a tick box or whatever, where I tick, actually, I have reviewed with this is good for all final sign off. Or, for example, in real projects, actually, what we should actually have before my sign off is, you should have a quality assurance person, a tester or whatever, to basically go in and test it. So then the resolution should actually be, Rachel comes in and says she has designed the events page. The testers actually then go and test the events page. Can they access the events page? Can they see all the events that needed? If they wanted to sign up for the events, did it work? They go do the testing. Once the testers basically confirm that they also believe the resolution has been resolved, then I could have the next column where essentially I go and do the final check. Okay, am I happy with this? Or will you have like basically a stakeholder that is in charge of that, if that makes sense? And I think personally, yeah. And I think personally, yeah, go on.
Go on.
Go.
You first.
I just basically stop. I was basically gonna say, I feel like in work sometimes we don't break down our plans like that, and I feel like it has burnt me a little bit as well. So I would highly encourage for people to basically have those different columns, have a column where the person, the owner says they finished it, have a column where the UAT team or the SIT team go in and say they have tested it. Then you have the column where there's been a final sign off for that as well. It's actually made me think, I'm actually currently creating a project at work. So it's actually made me think that maybe something like that. Or let's say if maybe you don't know, maybe not all areas will need sign off, right? Essentially, some areas might be small, especially more when you start breaking it down into subtasks. So you could even have another column that basically says, does this require final sign off? So then you know which activity needs to go and get signed off or to get tested as well.
That's true. And another thing I just realized, to make it a bit easier, on the status thing, you can create obviously different boards for the task. So if you create like obviously the task, you can go to status and put obviously you have to do, then you have in progress, then you have like first draft. You can add in a first draft after you're in progress. And then after you're done, that means done will mean, okay, she's done, or you can even change it and be like, make it to waiting for approval and then to be tested as well, all in the same board, so that whoever's looking at it will be like, okay, these are the ones that needs to be approved. And then obviously you can now then create a column and then add you said the quality tester.
Yeah. Quality assurance, they're called. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a pre-built column as well that is I think I don't know, it's not the assignee, I might be pronounced that word wrong. It's another one, but then you can like tag you, obviously you would be the one to give the final approval. Yeah, I've forgotten where it is in the column list, but it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
And then so then a bit easier. Obviously it's still long, but obviously instead of having like 5 to 6 different columns and then trying to see which one's which.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And it's, see, we're making this plan already better. So now if we go into the status of it, we can basically see to do, in progress, to be approved, tested, first draft as well, you know. And I think by having it this way as well, essentially, let's say if I really wanted to know where is actually some parts of this website, rather than me being like, hi guys, can you give me an update? If your team gets into a mentality where they update this every day, in project management, micromanagement goes out the window. And I feel like it also satisfies micromanagers in a way, because you still get to see every step of what people are doing, but without actually breathing down people's necks, you know. So that's how I convince micromanagers to use project management tools. And I know it's bad. I know it's bad, but because they're like, no, I don't want to use project management tools. But I'm like, think about it, you can know the progress at any stage, right? And it's like, even let's say if I go in here and I see something that's like to be approved, and then I'm like, wait, actually, what? I didn't know this was done. I could then click what is to be approved. I can filter it to see what needs to be approved. And then this way, my life also becomes easier, isn't it? My
Yeah.
life also becomes easier. So yeah, no, thank you. I like that, because then it avoids you having to have 100 columns, like you said. I'm getting rid of this. Resolve column. Even created, I personally, in this board plan, I do not care when it was created, but this is why it's useful to know when it was created. Let's say when it is in proper projects. One, you can see basically when the activity was brought in, especially if it's after the scope has been agreed. You can then be like, what do you mean? You just should have been a change request. What do you mean you created it at the end of November whilst we actually agreed everything at the start of September, you know. Two, it also actually allows you to see if people are updating stuff as well. So there's another column that basically says when was the last update. So this is really useful for like weekly stuff. Like, you know, if you need people to update this weekly, rather than me going in and chasing everyone for it, I then basically say, okay, who hasn't updated it in the last 2 days? And then I can filter it on that as well. So I do like that. I will say, I think my biggest priority, step one of this web page, and actually, I don't know if you guys didn't notice, I couldn't find priority, so I created a new one. But basically, after you create it, just go on the columns and basically just select that you want it to showcase, and you see how I got rid of everything else as well. And this way as well, you don't have to individually go and delete stuff as well. You can basically just go in there and delete it in here. I'll get rid of created and updated. Actually, updated, I guess that'd be nice. Working on it as a team, isn't it? So yeah. So yeah, my main biggest one thing that I want as ASAP Rocky, before I even take a breath, before I might protest and just not eat till you guys do it. I really want basically, you know, the first thing people do is have like a landing page, isn't it? And it's like sign up to the waiting list. So what I want to start doing is basically saying like, guys, I'm so excited with you asked for it, we're doing it, but we're building it, but this the website, access it here, and then you know it says basically like, we're excited to have you join us, give us your details. So once it goes live, you get like a thing. So one is I want to catch leads. So essentially by the time it goes live, there is already people that are interested, and we know they're interested because, well, they themselves went and registered for it. Two, it also allows us to see the demand and stuff for it as well. Maybe we could even have a little part in it that basically says, what would you want to have in this course? Like a little what would you like to see? So go on.
Waiting list would be perfect for that.
Right.
Because then if we get people before obviously it's launched, they can obviously be in the waiting list technically. And then you send them an automated email on those on the waiting list. Say, oh, PWTO blah 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 has been launched. Now you can blah 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 and blah 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 blah, and then the first thing you do blah 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 blah.
Yeah, right. And exactly. So by then time, it's like, and I think as well, mentally, waiting lists excite people. Mentally, it makes you feel like, ooh, you know, it's some psychology behind it. So yeah. Hey, Antonella.
I just wanted to ask then, are we doing all the requirements for the Wix or for the
The main
potential
thing.
website? Oh,
So
cool.
we're doing it for Wix. So this is the plan for this, and the requirements as well is for Wix. However, what I'm telling to people is, you know how basically we prioritize everything that we want to do. Even if, let's say, you think of amazing idea in the plan or in the requirements gathering, still note it down. Especially, I don't want to lose people's ideas if, let's say, they're not sticking to the next phase where we are building the platform, you know. So it's supposed to prioritize the VIX, but if you're like, nah, this would be amazing. Ah, but we're not doing this right now. Still drop it down. So
Okay.
it's like I got awareness of it. And I guess one of the things when you're doing your requirements gathering, actually, my mommy brought me food. Actually, sorry guys, if you're not living with your mommy.
Also, just a point in the chat, Jennifer had said something, so just take a look at that one.
Oh, sorry. I did not open the chat. Layouts, colors, website pages. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. Need to drop, have a great session. Oh, Bynard, I didn't even know she's gone. If epics are milestones, then stories would be deliverables or tasks, subtasks for the project task to be completed. Yeah, I definitely. So essentially, it's like what is required to achieve that milestone. So we're not thinking about the overall project. We're basically thinking about tasks that are required for that milestone. How would we navigate the priorities column when sorting out what's most important? So I think as well, when let's say even if you're doing it at work, right, it's really just it's a discussion. It's basically ends up being a discussion. And it's really, let's say if you guys have something that I think is that won't have, but like let's say if this waiting website, right? If let's say someone suggested it and I was like, guys, no, this is a won't have. I'm not gonna bother about it. You know what? Forget it. We're big boys. We can just go do the platform and we're gonna get everything that we need. And you guys should basically be like, but gee, no, think about it. You can build the momentum of it. By the time you open, you already have a list of people who are interested. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. This is a must have. So a lot of the time, it's a discussion. When it comes to priority, it's a discussion and being able to justify what it is. Or for example, maybe one of the pages, I was like, you know what? We could have it's a nice to have. So what will mean is for the initial going live end of November, we might not have it, but we're still gonna basically in project management, there's a thing called product backlog. In product backlog, essentially project backlog as well. So essentially all of this that we're creating is basically a project backlog. Then we go and put it into sprints, and you do that when you plan your sprint. So what we could basically have is all of the items that let's say we didn't deliver and we could have as that won't have, after the project goes live, we could basically have a look and basically say, okay, guys, out of all of these won't haves, we got like 2 more weeks. People, we finished quicker than we thought. What do you think we should prioritize? Out of all these won't haves, is any of them now a must have? So then what we do is basically we prioritize everything that we didn't want to do now because we got time. We actually also do that for projects as well. So when they approve budgets, sometimes a lot of the projects end up getting cancelled and they don't spend the money because of delays and everything like this. So at one point in the organization, they're gonna have a project backlog of all the projects that did not get to be completed. So people will review these and be like, should we basically start this project now? So essentially your priorities can actually also shift as well. Sorry to take us back a little bit. What do you think about alumni page for the foundation cell? Oh, I like that. I remember saying alumni page. Is it for people that let's say have completed have completed the courses?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I like that. And you know what? Because what I want to do is, I don't want people to just purchase the page. the courses. I want people to become part of Project Takeover. So, and I also want people to help each other and stuff like this. So this would be a nice one. And again, we can actually have a look. Do we do that as part of first sprint, that, this is the first thing? Or do we focus actually maybe a few weeks in? We can then also go into prioritization as well. Are you going to promote initially through social media? Yeah, so I'm gonna promote it through social media. I'm gonna promote it through the Project Takeover community. I also need to start doing more events and making people aware that this is coming. I'm also gonna do some ads as well, to drive traffic there. But yeah. And meeting with the external stakeholders like experienced PMs to sign up as well, not just new users, starting PMs as well. And meeting with external stakeholders like experienced PMs to sign up as well, not just new users. Yeah. And I think that's another one. Maybe even for maybe we could even have that as a milestone. I don't know what to call it, so you guys might have to help my Lithuanian ass think of this. But it's like I want to basically say, what do we focus on? Like, should we just call it different stakeholder groups? And then I want us to basically see stakeholder groups. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think of a better group. Gathering stakeholder groups. Oh, I like that. Gathering stakeholder groups. Gathering stakeholder groups. And essentially from there, so let's say we could have one of the stakeholders entry level PMs, experienced PMs. Because I was shocked. One of the workshops that I did, y'all, everyone who joined was already in project management. And I was like, oh my God, like I thought I'm going to be helping more people who want into project management. But actually, people need that confidence growth. People need to know how to elevate their careers. People are so stuck in their careers and stuck in their, because it's just comfortability, isn't it? And it's tiring as well. Like you come home, you don't want to go and apply for stuff and stuff like this, So experienced PMs end up being like a big thing that I end up helping with as well. So we could have entry level PMs, experienced PMs. We could say career transitioners maybe. Career transitioners. It's like transition, whatever. And then it's like someone could actually have a look at this area, and they could basically end up being our SME. So our experienced person that we go to when it comes to, let's say, building the website, and we are building, let's say, the events page, they could actually be like to us, oh, actually, all of your events are focused on entry-level PMs. Remember, you wanted to do some stuff for experienced PMs. So someone actually could also overlook that area. And this was like a quick one that we thought of. I'm sure there's different stakeholder groups as well, isn't it, right? And, I think another thing could also be did I enter twice? Am I being blind? Another thing could basically be entrepreneurships as well. I want to have something for entrepreneurs, but I know we're not focusing on that for now. I know we're not focusing on that right now, but I do want that at one stage as well to happen. And again, so for now, let's say for entrepreneurs, I won't have for now, but I want to consider it for the future. So yeah, that was a good shout. So again, let's see what big milestones do we have. So we got like gathering different stakeholder groups for people to go and basically do research. Who do we target? Then we got scaling falls phase 1. So essentially, if we want to make this transition as smooth as ever, what do we have to consider beforehand? Then we also have building the website, so the actual individual pages as well. Then we have content for the platform. So actually that's like all the courses and stuff like that. We also have foundations and setup. So from from the signups. Oh, like what type of signups? See, I just created this project and I'm already, it happened the other day. I created a plan with a project manager and we're going through the plan and she's like, gee, I was gonna tell you in a meeting that I got zero clue what that means anymore. But she's like, I know that I know, but I just forgot. So it's so easy to even forget your own plans. That's why actually you also have to elaborate on the stuff, what type of signups. And I think in there we had future interest in future events, coaching, workshops, actually building a website as well. I do want to, I don't know, I guess this will become when, let's say, people are broken into teams to work on it. Like, get in touch, say, like, you know, when you basically says, and it's like, oh, do you want coaching? Fill out your details to get a quote and we'll get in touch. Does that become like a little pop-up on every page? Is it a separate page? You know, do we put it somewhere? Again, I don't know what to call it. I'll say getting a quote. Yeah. Or coaching and services, because I do also want to kind of do the website in a way where, okay, the courses are not sold to businesses and entrepreneurs for now, but if they want to get in touch, so maybe that could also be a page, business services page, so people know what type of services that we follow as well. And I do feel like even now, actually, there's probably some overlap with some of these pages. So then that's when it will go into, like, you know, us really having to go. So do we have a contact us page? We do. And I know this whole getting a quote is part of contacting, but you know, it's like I want people to be prompted to get in touch without having to go to the page. Out. You got contact us, whatever. Registration. That is an important web page, isn't it? Registration. What else? About us. I think we have about us already. Perfect. So in terms of priority, what we can actually go, I want to add another column. I'm gonna call it, or maybe actually let's go now into the backlog. So remember I said in project management, you create a whole backlog to achieve a lot of these things. And then what you basically, and this is everything that we want to achieve in a project, and you basically create a sprint. So in the first sprint, I mean, the no-brainer is purchasing the domain. That has to happen, isn't it? This website structures has to happen as well. What type of signups do we want? Has to guess decide. I don't know. Should it be part of sprint one? Okay, whatever. We'll try to get there for now. And the main thing as well is waiting list site. So you see now, we basically can click dates in here too. Basically, we'll call it takeover has started. We'll just call it that because we're cool like that. Takeover has started. And we'll put the date from today till next week, right? I mean, actually, I don't know if that's a realistic date, but whatever. We'll put it for now. And you can set a goal. Start the foundations of the website, and maybe 2 weeks. I'm thinking about it. Start the foundations of the website and waiting list. Also, another thing that we actually want to have part of this, and this is, you can actually create new stuff if, let's say, you are don't have it already in your backlog. So another thing that I would want to have is a plan that is, well, a complete plan. Let's call it a complete plan. Oh, complete plan. What epic would I put it under? It's definitely foundations and setup, isn't it? So we want to definitely have a plan, and probably the plan will obviously be due, let's say, well, actually, the plan will probably, this can be ongoing, right? And I guess that's what I really want to establish as well. Is like, does anyone want to start going and, working and having a look what the waiting website should look like? What do we need to do in Wix to actually get it set up and stuff like that? Purchase domain, I guess, should we nip it in the bud now? Actually, wait, before we go into that, has everything made sense so far what we are doing? Yeah, yes. Hopefully it's also made you realize how to create plans in beautiful. Hopefully it's also made you realize more how to create plans in project management. Again, if you're moving homes, if you're going on holiday, if you're getting married, even your shopping list, go in Jira, start planning it like this. Start breaking it down. There is even dashboards and stuff. We'll go into dashboards maybe another session, but start going on to all of these as well. And actually, another epic that I want to have is project management. So let's say whatever is working on whatever project. Oh my God, I'm so fresh. Oh my God, I couldn't do it. Oh my God, don't judge me. Project management. So essentially, one of the epics that I want to have in there is the plan is not the last project management activity we're going to be doing, darlings. This is not the last project management. I want us to learn about risks. Risk management. Risk management. Right. And this also, I want to talk about benefits management. Manage. I also want us to mention KPIs. Change management. Again, I don't know in reality how many of these things we'll get through, but racy as well. Race is a big thing. Decisions. Ooh, design decisions. So essentially, in design decisions, we usually have a log where we basically go through and we basically make decisions on what the design will look like. So to be fair, a lot of what we've been doing today, and let's say for the last few weeks, is actually overlapping with the design decisions. But usually what happens is, well, you need a business to make a decision. It could be a simple decision such as what color is the website going to be? How many web pages is it? What do we want to see on it? Of course, the bigger the project, the more complicated it gets. But usually we just basically create a log, and we basically say, this was the decision that was needed. When did you raise it? What was the outcome of the decision? And what I also like to say is, where was the decision made? And if you got any evidence to do it. Of course, for a project like this, it's not too crazy because, well, I'm involved. So I'm sure I'm aware of every decision that's made. But when we're working on projects that are massive, people will end up saying to you, well, who made the decision? And you'll be like, oh, it was said by in this meeting. They're like, but who? But who? Have you got evidence of it? We basically need to track the decisions to basically, if something comes up that is like, how did you get to this decision? You can basically go and showcase it. So we will actually create a decision log as well, but this one will be easy as well. Like, it's just so you understand. I'm trying to think anything else. ELS, maybe we'll put it. So ELS is early life support. So after the project goes live, what is the type of support that we'll be putting in? So for example, if the website goes live tomorrow at 5 p.m, are we gonna have people awaiting, logged in to see if anyone has any issues? You're able to help them out with the issues. If people want to, they saying, I'm trying to purchase a course but I can't do it, what is the plan of action for us to provide the early life support? And usually it's like a customer service desk that they have in projects. And business readiness as well. So with business readiness, so what you basically do is, oh, this is exciting. I feel like now we're getting into so many different little things. So the business readiness is essentially you create a board where you basically say, before we go live, so before the Wix website goes live, we need to make sure that this is what activities needs to happen before we are ready for it to go live. So we could actually say something like, is the website being designed? Has the website been approved? Is there a login page? Is there a contact us page? Is there options for you to sign up to coaching? It basically becomes a checklist that you go through and different people are responsible for to basically say, okay, right, we're ready to go live. That's what business readiness basically means. How ready is the business for the project to go live? So we'll also cover that as well, which I think will be really, really fun. So we're still even going to have a project management section. So what I want to kind of do is, so let's say if you're working on a specific area of the plan, I'm then going to basically teach you risk management, and you're kind of going to go and create like a risk register for that part or the overall project. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't even know why I ended up going into. I just got excited, guys. I got excited because now we're getting into like the cool stuff of project management. But yeah. So I guess from the milestones, from the epics, do you believe there's any other big epic that we should be tracking in this project? I feel like that's the main parts, isn't it? I feel like that's the main part. Right? Right. And I mean, that's the beauty of the plans, isn't it? If you, let's say, wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh my God, no, this should have been epic. Put it into the plan. So like I said, we have in this Jira, it's only 10 people that I can allow to be in there because it's a free version. I know not everyone is at a stage where they haven't even get their requirements gathering and stuff out of the way to be moving to the plan. So it's basically going to be a first come, first served basis. However, I did decide the other day, if I get interest, and I know that essentially people will be using Jira, I am willing to basically pay for us to access the premium version. Because, well, I just started thinking I want this to be fun. So I'm willing to basically pay so as many people need to access it. But I don't want to pay for it if, let's say, I pay for it and then turns out 5 people are working on it, because then, well, 5 of us could have been working on it for free. So we'll do that. So now, okay, beautiful. If there's no other things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this. So have a think. What I really want to do as the next part of the activity is to start basically building this plan out. So if there's an area that you are really interested in, whether it is building the website, and I know, for example, for this one, it's like all different areas. So it's like have a think what, let's say, part of the website you would want to do. I feel like if you was the one that suggested certain things and we put it down here, automatically that's like your baby. Automatically. So yeah, have a think, what areas would you want to be involved in? The project management section, well, all of you guys are gonna have to do it anyway, so don't worry about this one. Gathering stakeholder groups, I think, yeah, we definitely need a person to look over that, and then we'll see if like they want support with other people. Scaling pulse fast phase 1 as well. So what is sort of anything that we need to consider now? Building the website, like we said, all the individual pages, because then what I want to put is to go in. So for example, even for the registration page, one of the activities will be like, what info do we need? And what info do we need, you know? Then it will actually say whatever activities is basically required to create that registration page. So then you could say started design. We'll just put design of the registration page. Next could actually be started, I don't know, developing or whatever. You know, so it's like even like a simple web page such as the registration will then end up having different activities that are needed for us to get this registration page up. So yeah, have a think. Is there any particular area that you really want to get involved in? And then what we'll basically do is you end up coming into this plan and breaking that area down into the path that we want. I'm not just going to share the link to Jira. So if you do want to get involved in a plan on here, drop me a message. I'll get you in there and I'll basically let me know what part you want to be assigned for, and I will do it that way. And then we'll see. Like I said, if I do end up getting way more than 10 people that are interested, then I'm willing to pay for Jira for us to all be partying in there. But then if anything, people can create their individual plans and then we can sort of migrate them here. And again, you can do it individually, you can do it part as a group. If you are new to this work experience, I'm basically encouraging people to work as a group because, well, in project management, we don't work on anything by ourselves. However, there's benefits and there's disadvantages of both sides. One, it's fun to work as a group. It's like more real life experience. You get to bounce off ideas. On the other hand, there's people who are slacking in the group, so the other people are picking up the slack. There's also issues with communication. So have a think, but I do highly encourage everyone to work as a group. So yeah, I guess what's the word? Let me know. I'm in such a talkative mood, but I just realized it's 12:15, so I've kept you guys here for a long time. I've kept you guys here for a long time. So we'll do one last, I don't know if you've got any questions about anything. It could be about Jira, it could be about plans, it could be about Wix. Nothing? Okay, beautiful. So have a think what part of the plan you would like to get involved in. If you also want me to help, you want to help with the overall plan and sort of be accountable for the plan, also let me know, because I mean that'd be easier for me, isn't it? But let's say if you are overlooking the whole plan, what would be expecting of you guys is to basically get updates from people and stuff that are doing it. You know, so yeah, do let me know what type of level you would get involved in. I'll send the progress review form. And okay, just this is what I wanted to say. I was scratching my head. This domain business, let's quickly nip it in the bud. So just a quick overview. Pwto.co.uk I've had since ages ago because I was doing something and I needed a website, so I just ended up getting that one. And I'm going for the co.uk because I don't know, I just felt like UK. The other day when I was buying Wix, they basically offered a free domain and I picked Pwto.info. I do think Pwto.org was there, and I was just basically what I should have done is basically ask you guys, do you prefer, I guess, org or net, isn't it? Because now the issue is Rachel said anything.co.uk basically for algorithm just doesn't get pushed. So it does look like it would be better to either use Pwto.info or Pwto.org. The big question is, how important do you think it is? Because then basically I got Pwto.info for free, but because I chose Pwto.info, I would have to pay for Pwto.net. So do you think it makes a huge difference, considering this is just an interim solution anyway? You know?
Actually, I was just thinking as well. I was like, it's the interim solution. We can, make hopefully enough revenue, in January and, change it again, make it more
Exactly.
catchier. Yeah, like, look, you got it for free. We do it for free.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking as well. I could call them and just basically be like, hi, do you think I could change it? But I doubt it works like that. So yeah, I think then we can basically put that the winner is Pwto.info as the choice. And I get as the chosen. It is as the chosen. And then we can basically
Also,
yeah.
oh yeah, sorry. Is it pwto.info?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Let's
that's
make
not
sure.
bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And because I was like, oh, info, So
Mm.
Pwto.info. So okay, look at this, guys. Guys, look. This is our first completed task. Stop. I actually should show complete in our backlog too. Look, we did it. We did it. I might cry. Our first task completed together as a team. Thank you for joining us for this big milestone. That was exciting, isn't it? That was like a big little dopamine kick. So yeah, okay, perfect. So I guess the next things that we really want to think of is actually the website structure, how it looks, what type of signups do we want, and waiting list website as well, and completing the plan. This will sort of be ongoing anyways, isn't it? So I guess have a look at these if you want to actually get involved in any of these. So deciding the website structure, what type of signups do we want, and if you want to start working on the waiting list website. I think Wix allows me up to 10 people in there to work on the site. So how I was gonna do is divide it per sections, and then let's say if there's one moderator that is working on it, then it's like people can basically help you guys. Like you basically become, I don't know, the program lead or whatever, and then you have loads of project managers helping you with it, isn't it? So we'll do it that way. But yeah, waiting list website is probably my number one, just because, well, I'm sure it should be easy. You just go in there, put a board in, says sign up. But this is me coming from a non-technical perspective, isn't it? But I mean, it's Wix. Wix can't complicate it. But I'm sure even then, it's like you have to set up the website and stuff. So actually, I think I'm gonna put this. Explore Wix. I haven't been in there. I have not been in there. Or if anyone is aware of Wix or how it works and would like to show me and stuff, let me know. This will be part of the foundation itself, because actually I need to explore Wix and actually even see how that whole thing works. So beautiful. Our first milestone signed off. We got a good milestone starting point. Have a think and everything. By next week, a little bit of a guru. Oh, are you? Okay, I shall find you. I shall find you. I shall find you, Rachel. I should find you. Add another million things to your list. Like you don't have 1,000 things to do. But yeah. Okay. So have a think, and then by next week, what I really want to do is basically have a session where we basically really finalize this plan and all the different areas and who's going to be working on it, and then people can really start breaking it down even further. So have a consideration what area you would like to get involved in, and then start thinking of the plans. If you're ready, drop me a message and I'll add you to this Jira board to start partying with us in here. And to be fair, I'll probably even want someone to, like I said, be responsible for the plan. So see what columns do we care about, what columns we don't care about, and stuff like that. So actually, I'll put that is as well as owner of the plan, because, well, and I know you're probably thinking, G should be you. Well, in project management, how it works in RACI, when we cover RACI, is there's someone responsible for doing the stuff and there's someone accountable for making sure it is done. So I want someone responsible. Maybe let's put this responsible for the plan, and then I'll be accountable for the plan. Essentially, responsible people are the ones that look after it. Accountable person is basically the person you want to shoot down if it's not there. That's how it works in project management. So have a think. Would you like to be responsible for the plan? And see how we party in here and how we set up, and then we could go into setting up all the different dashboards to see how we're doing and stuff like that. So that is it. I guess no. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Today was a good session. Do you guys feel like today finally feels not as dry because we're going into the fun part of it, isn't it? That's all the posters. But yeah. Yes, perfect. Because that's,
Yeah.
and I think, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jennifer. Don't leave me like my father. You already unmuted yourself. Come back.
No, I was just saying yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I think that's how I find as well projects as well, like initiation, the whole documentation, the business case, the PID. It's such a part of the project. It's so important part of the project because it's needed. This is how you set the tolerances and everything, the scope. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. don't like initiating projects. I feel so, ugh. But I know people who love initiation and they hate the other side of it. So again, it depends. And I guess that's hopefully this also makes you realize what is your strengths. Because I know some people love doing the business case and requirements gathering and stuff like that, right? So hopefully it also showcases which part of the project is your baby. Because actually they do have specialists in, like, you know, kicking off initiation. They do have specialists in delivery, and they have specialists in closing the projects as well. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the time it will be the same person, but you can see what part is your baby. I hate initiation. I love this bit, like kicking it off and everything like that, and even plans. The only thing is in projects, we always do a plan. Like even now, we're creating a plan on a project that started in like July. So it's so, ugh. Do you get what I mean? Because we're doing it after. It's like, ugh. So that's one thing I don't like about plans. And I guess in reality as well, it's just a good point to know that some of these things actually end up, it's not waterfall, so you don't wait till the business case is approved and the plan is there to start work. You're basically just kicking it off. To be fair, the project that I've been working on since last year, right? Well, obviously the new year started in March. Our business case is still not signed off. So imagine from March till 11th, 6 months, 7 months. 7 months, our business case is still in approvals. So we're still carrying on with all the required activity. So sometimes it doesn't go hand in hand. But yeah. All right, then, beautiful people. Have a blessed week. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like always, it was fun. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this. And I appreciate your time and I appreciate your efforts. And I really pray that this gives you more clarity of how project management works in real life rather than all the theory. Beautiful.
Thank you, G. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. I'll release you guys. I'll watch you
Bye.
go. Thank you. Right, au revoir.